Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive deep into something you do about 20,000 times a day, mostly without even thinking about it. Breathing. It seems so simple, right? Air in, air out. But have you ever wondered about the incredible, intricate dance of muscles and pressures that makes it all happen? It's a fascinating biological marvel. And by the end of this video, you'll have a whole new appreciation for every single breath you take. So, let's get into the mechanics of breathing. First, let's meet the star of the show, the diaphragm. This large dome-shaped muscle sits right below your lungs and above your abdominal organs. Think of it as the main engine of your respiratory system. When you decide to take a breath in a process called inhalation or inspiration, your brain sends a signal down the phrenic nerve to the diaphragm. What happens next? The diaphragm contracts and flattens, moving downward. This single action is a game changer. At the same time, another set of muscles gets to work. The external intercostal muscles, D. These are the muscles located between your ribs. When they contract, they pull your ribcage upwards and outwards. Imagine the handle on a bucket being lifted. That's kind of what your ribs are doing. So, you have the diaphragm moving down and the ribcage moving up and out. What does this accomplish? It dramatically increases the volume inside your chest cavity, also known as the thoracic cavity. Now, let's talk about a fundamental principle of physics, Boyle's law. It states that for a gas in a closed container, if you increase the volume, the pressure decreases. Your lungs are inside the thoracic cavity, which is a sealed container. So, when the volume of your chest cavity increases, the pressure inside it drops, D. This creates a pressure difference between the air inside your lungs and the air outside your body. The air outside, which is at a higher atmospheric pressure, naturally wants to rush into the area of lower pressure. And that's exactly what it does. Air flows through your nose or mouth, down your trachea, through your bronchial tubes, into your lungs, filling them up until the pressure inside equals the pressure outside. And just like that, you've successfully inhaled. Air's a passive flow of air driven entirely by a pressure gradient that you actively created with your muscles. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so we've got the air in. How do we get it out? This process is called exhalation or expiration. For a normal, quiet breath, exhalation is surprisingly passive. It doesn't require much muscle effort at all. Your diaphragm simply relaxes, returning to its original dome shape. The external intercostal muscles also relax, allowing the rib cage to move back down and in. Thanks to gravity and the natural elasticity of your chest, this decreases the volume of your thoracic cavity, slows. According to Boyle's law again, if the volume decreases, the pressure inside must increase. Now, the pressure inside your lungs is higher than the atmospheric pressure outside. Naturally, the air flows from the high-pressure area inside your lungs to the low-pressure area outside your body. And poof, the air is expelled. It's like letting the air out of a balloon. You don't have to squeeze it. It just goes. The lungs themselves are also elastic, so they naturally recoil and help push the air out. But what about when you're exercising, singing, or blowing out birthday candles? That's when breathing becomes an active, forceful process. For a forceful inhalation, you recruit accessory muscles in your neck and chest, like the scalenes and sternocleidomastoid muscles, TAE. They help lift the rib cage even higher, creating a larger volume and allowing you to take in a much deeper breath, much faster. Forceful exhalation is also an active process. You can't just rely on passive relaxation. This is where your internal intercostal muscles and your abdominal muscles come into play. The internal intercostals pull the rib cage down, and in more forcefully and quickly than gravity alone. At the same time, you contract your abdominal muscles, the same ones you use to do a sit-up. This pushes your abdominal organs up against the diaphragm, forcing it to move up into the chest cavity much faster. Both of these actions rapidly decrease the volume of your chest, creating a much higher pressure and forcing the air out with considerable speed and power. This is how you can cough, sneeze, or shout. So, let's quickly recap the entire cycle. For a quiet breath in, the diaphragm and external intercostals contract, increasing chest volume and decreasing pressure, causing air to flow in. For a quiet breath out, these muscles relax, decreasing chest volume and increasing pressure, causing air to flow out. It's an elegant system of creating and releasing pressure. It's also important to remember what this air is for. The oxygen you breathe in travels to tiny air sacs in your lungs called alveoli, where it passes into your bloodstream to be delivered to every cell in your body. In return, your cells produce carbon dioxide as a waste product, which travels back through the blood to the lungs to be expelled when you exhale. This process, known as gas exchange, is the entire reason we breathe. The mechanical process is just the delivery system. Your brain constantly monitors the levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide in your blood and adjusts your breathing rate and depth accordingly, ensuring your body always has what it needs. So, the next time you take a deep breath, just take a moment to appreciate the incredible coordination happening inside you. The brain signaling, the diaphragm contracting, the ribs lifting, the pressure changing, and the air flowing in and out. It's a beautifully orchestrated process that keeps us alive and thriving, moment by moment. I hope this has given you a clearer picture of the amazing mechanics of breathing. It's one of those background processes we take for granted, but it's truly at the core of our existence. If you found this interesting, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the wonders of the human body. Let me know in the comments if there are any other biological processes you'd like to explore. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.